Hi, I'm Tracy Chi. I'm the author of We Are Not Free, a novel and stories about the Japanese American incarceration during World War II. This is my first time writing historical fiction, and I've been so blown away by the things I've learned and the amazing experiences I've had, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite research stories. Let's start with some historical context. In December 1941, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, which leads to months of war hysteria and racism, culminating in February 1942 when President Roosevelt signs Executive Order 9066, which gives the military power to designate military zones from which certain people, like Japanese Americans, can be excluded. Then comes the mass eviction. From March to May of 1942, community after community of Japanese Americans gets exclusion orders, sometimes giving them less than a week to settle their affairs and pack 2 suitcases before they're shipped off to who knows where. Among these people was my grandpa, who was 16 when he was evicted from his home in Japantown, San Francisco. But even though this happened to my family, I didn't actually know that much about it until I was in middle school, when the Smithsonian did an exhibit on the Japanese American incarceration. My mom, my aunt, my grandpa, my brother, and I all flew out to Washington, D.C. to see it. Although the only thing I really remember about that trip is getting in a fight with my mother and locking myself in the bathroom. But she likes to tell this story about how she and grandpa were walking through the museum and they see this huge life-size photo blow-up of a bunch of people on eviction day with these enormous piles of luggage, just waiting for the Greyhound buses to take them away. And my grandpa goes, "Hey, that's me." And there he is. He's lounging on the steps of this very iconic old Victorian in a t-shirt and rolled up jeans. Fast forward to summer 2016. I'm interviewing relatives who were in the camps for research for this book, and my mom is telling the story of this photograph and the Smithsonian and this moment she had with her dad, and I'm like, you know what? I bet I can find that. So I spend a couple hours that night Googling, going, "Hey mom, is this the one? Mom, is this the one?" And again, she's like, "No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one." Until finally it occurs to me to look on the Smithsonian website, and what do you know? There it is. It wasn't until that moment that I really understood how young my grandparents were when this happened to them. I mean, to be 16 and have your whole life and the lives of practically everyone you know overturned like that, I mean, this is one of the moments that really stuck with me. And in fact, I gave this exact moment a guy watching his whole neighborhood get packed up and shipped off to one of my characters, Shig, in the second chapter of We Are Not Free. And it's actually so powerful that it becomes part of the inspiration for the cover. After finding that photo on the Smithsonian website, I spent a couple weeks sending a bunch of emails going like, "Hey, this is my grandfather. Can I get a copy of this photo? Hey, this is my family history. Can I get a print copy?" And I'm finally able to track it down. And so later that year, I'm able to give a framed copy to my mom for Christmas. My grandpa's photo is still on the online exhibition of the most recent Smithsonian exhibit on the incarceration. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description so you can check it out. And for other online photograph collections, you can check out the Japanese American National Museum and the Japanese American Relocation Digital Archive at Calisphere. Both of those links will be in the description as well.